Good morning, everyone. I'm gonna wait until 10:05 to begin. Just gonna give just a few more minutes to have people join us. So at 10:05 on the dot, I will begin.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. I am going to give it just 2 more minutes to begin. At 10:05 on the dot, I'll start. Talk to you guys soon. Good morning, everyone. Let's begin. right? This is an open forum mastermind. And what that means is that I want all of you guys to participate. I want to know what it is that you guys are doing that might be going amazing. Or I want to know what you guys are doing that's going really, really bad so that I can help you improve that. And then together we kind of grow and not only learn from each other, but then I can also throw at you different strategies that you might be able to use for your business in order to grow your business, right? First of all, you're gonna hear me repeat myself every time we are together because there's certain strategies that I'm a huge believer that if you're not doing on a regular basis, you know, it might clutch you. So I do repeat myself on certain things. You will hear me repeat myself a lot. But I want to know, I want somebody to kind of begin this forum. So instead of me always, you know, coming at you guys with, you know, with the beginning of a mastermind, I want you guys to tell me, hey, you know what? I did this week and it didn't work. How should I make it better? Or I did this week and it came out great. However, how can I improve it? Talk to me. Who wants to be the first one to kind of like take us to today's mastermind? Anyone? No one wants to talk to me today? Tatiana, you're one of mine. Talk to me. Oh, Rosie wants to talk. Talk to me, Rosie.
Okay, good morning all. I'm new, so I'm here. Ladies' room is, and it's just an analogy. Basically, I activated my KB Core website and I purchased a domain. And when I was gonna buy the search optimization to try to bring some traffic into the website, the GoDaddy team advised that I cannot do it because of KB Core. I don't know if they just don't know KB Core, or what do you recommend? What do you suggest?
Okay, I would have to go in there and look at that part of the program. I don't want to touch up too much on KB Core because I have people that are from the company and people that are not from the company. I want to touch up more on, you know, strategies. Now, when it does come to your CRM might be very different from everybody else's because we provide KB Core to everybody over at Brokers. So if you're, you know, so if you're not a part of the company, you're coming in from my group chats, this is why Rosie is asking about KB Core at the moment. What I'll do, Rosie, is that when we're done, let's get together and we'll touch up on that one area of KB Core that you want to grow with. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now,
Another different subject. I have a prospect buyer, and he mentioned about the fact that he has a paymaster. I never interacted with a paymaster. I know that is a representative. I'm just used to interacting with an escrow company. That I believe, you ever done interacted with a paymaster?
I actually haven't, to be honest with you. What is it that they want you guys to do with the paymaster? They want that to be
Well,
what, the closing
basically,
agent?
he mentioned his interest on proceeding with an offer, and before I proceed with an offer, I need to pre-qualify him, and I need money on the escrow account. And when I mentioned, you know, he's a friend of mine from many years ago, but it's a very delicate subject because I don't want to put anybody in, you know, against the wall, but to be a very smooth process. And he mentioned, oh, don't worry, I have a paymaster. And then I didn't say anything because I didn't want to sound ignorant. But the truth is, I check in Google what a wayman paymaster is.
Well,
Oh,
if they need to be,
someone that holds the money. But
if they need to become pre-approved, you know, go straight
I know
to
that.
the vendor, and then they handle that money part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know that. I know that. That's obviously
Yeah.
the process. This is going to be a cash purchase. but they need to be, I just wanted to find out how he was gonna do it because it was our first conversation. And I'm curious about the fact about if anybody ever interacted with the paymaster, how is the process? Another question is, if we have an attorney.
We do not have an in-house attorney.
But is there someone that we use? I usually use, if I have a question, I call the legal hotline. But when there's a transaction of millions and millions of dollars, I like an attorney to be involved. Do we have a preferred?
I mean, we have an in-house title company, but we don't have an in-house attorney. So
Okay, no big deal. I just prefer to use the in-house rather than go outside.
yeah, you control the situation better in-house.
Yeah, definitely. So that be all for now.
Okay, so let's get this mastermind going. Tatiana, what are you doing?
Well, I have 2 prospects that I'm working on.
Okay.
And one of them is the father not quite ready yet.
Okay.
But his son is really pushing for them to sell the house, but his dad is not ready yet.
Okay. So, how did you get these prospects?
This one, I got it as a referral. They will be selling. It's in time. Reason why they want to sell the house is all the kids moved from Florida and they're trying to move their father closer to them.
Got it. Now, I will say referral is your number one business. And the reason why I'm kind of gearing the conversation out of, you know, what's going on with the prospects is because as a mastermind, we can speak about the prospects we have and how to go ahead and handle these transactions. You're dealing with an emotional conversation, right? You're dealing with a father who is, you know what, I want to stay in my home. And you're dealing with a son who wants their father closer. And, you know, it's a touchy subject. So it's not one of those where it's like, they're not, I don't know, they're not ready to sell, or they are ready to sell because, you know, they need to downgrade, and they're going to be in the same area. You're dealing with emotional subjects here because the clients are dealing with family issues type of thing, you know? I do want to get into the whole strategic part of like, how much should we be prospecting and how much should we be touching up on our clients and how to follow up on them, right? You just said the word referral. Referrals are going to be your number one business on an ongoing basis, right? So right now, as you are newer agents, I don't know how many new agents I have compared to more experienced agents, but as you're new, your database is going to take you to do all the work right now to make sure that you get referral business as you grow, okay? So that is amazing that you got the referral on this one. Now, how are you handling that following up with the prospect? How are you touching up with them and making sure that, one, you don't overstep on those emotions, but that you also are the person that they like and they trust to handle this sort of situation for them?
So one of the things they want is, which when I spoke to him, he's like, okay, I want some information. I don't have email, so they're not ready to meet yet. However, he's like, just send me some information through mail. Oh, so wow. I've set it up every other day for them to receive promotional of the area. Okay. What we can do, like a listing presentation. So I set it up that way that when they receive in the mail, they kind of, you know, they see.
Now, what is it that you're sending through the mail, and how have you set it up so it could be certain days?
Well, I printed some forms from Well, the flyers that brokers created for me,
Okay.
information why to sell. He did ask me to provide how much the house worth.
Okay,
And
so
I
you
told
ran
him,
comps. Did you do a pretty comps report? Like, did you go to RPR and like print out a pretty comp?
yes, yes.
Very
So what I did, I print that out. I have a color printer at home, so I did that at home, and I basically did the envelopes. So I divided all the information in the envelopes and sent it out. So because I live next to US mail, I just walk next to the mail and I drop it for the next 2 following days. So I've been staying consistent. I also been calling him every week to touch base of how are they doing, how are they feeling.
Have you
And
been asking them like if they've been receiving your mail?
yes, so he wants to meet, but the main goal, he wants his father to be involved, and his father is not ready for face to
So you've
face.
been sending the mail to the son.
No, to their father's house.
Got
So their father is receiving all of that.
Got it. Got it.
I know, even though the son is ready and hot to, you know, to put that house on the market, their father is still attached to it. So I don't want to over push the way, you know,
Have
he
you checked
doesn't
how
feel
long
that-
they've been living in that house?
Yes, it's free and clear. They've been there over 20 years. And that area, I even drove by that area myself because my other prospect is literally 5 minutes away from their house. So the houses there they're selling. And I know once we put it in the market, their house will sell within 30 days.
Well, the reason why I asked how long he's been living in that house is because besides the fact that his son is no longer in the area, you have to give him reasons of why it might be a good move for him. You know, not just the sale, not just the money, because right now he doesn't really care about the money. He knows that however much he sells it for, it's gonna all be in his bank account because you know it's free and clear of financial. But you have to give him a reason. Why should he sell? How do you know how many square feet it is? Does he live with his wife? Is this a two-story house? Is this house becoming way too big for him to maintain on his own? Is it 3-bedroom for a one person? You know what I mean? Like, instead of touching up on, you know, it's gonna sell quickly, you're gonna have money in the bank. That those things are not important to him. You know, he's been there, you said over 20 years, he's paid it off. Now you have to give him the real reasons of why an elderly person might want to move closer to family, right? That's when you start touching up with, you know, you're going to be able to see your grandkids grow up if he has grandkids, or, you know, if it's a 2-story house, you know, my parents are elderly and they live in a 2-story house, and I've been pushing them to get a 1-story because as they start getting older, those stairs are a hassle. So you've got to start, you know, kind of like touching up on the reasons of why, you know, instead of just like, this is your market, it's gonna sell quickly. Because right now you're just looking kind of like you're just going straight for the sale without touching up his emotional involvement in it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Very nice. Is anybody else working on something? Does anybody want to talk? Anything you guys want to touch up on?
Before we move on,
Yes.
what would something, one conversation would sound like? How would you approach it?
Well, it really depends because I've never seen this house, right? But I would approach it with, you know, hearing him instead of hearing the son, right? Even though the son was your referral. I need you to hear that man. Hi, I've sent you all these things by mail. Is there anything else, you know, you have any questions? And then you have to touch up on that house and how it might become a hazard for him, or how it might be too big for him. But you have to come in as a human. Like if you would be speaking also to like your parent who you haven't seen in a while, and touch up on the subjects that maybe his son is being aggressive on, you have to come in with that human side, you know. We also have to think about other things. It is 2020, right? And we as humans have been going through a whole lot of changes this year. Who would have thought that we would be quarantined for this long, or who would have thought we would be wearing a mask? And for the elderly, it's even worse. So I want you to gear the conversation with, I know we're going through a lot of changes right now. Like, you gotta hit him with that emotional part. I know that we are going through changes. He is trying to sell this property, or trying to see if he even sells this property, by asking you to send him things through the mail because he can't sit down and talk to you. So start with the conversation with, do you need anything? Your kids don't live here. Use me if you need something. Do you need masks? Do you need groceries? Is there anything? And then, you know, form a human conversation about why he might feel he doesn't need to sell. And then you form conversations with him of why he should, based on what that house has that can no longer serve him well. He might be living in a perfect location for him, but maybe the house is way too big. But we don't know. Like, I've never seen the property, you know. Maybe it's a 2-bedroom house and it's like perfectly sized, and he's looking at you like you're crazy because the house is like perfect, you know.
It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. It's about 1,300 square feet.
It's not that big. And
it's a very small, very nice community. So I've drove by it.
Yeah.
I actually I wanted to go see how it looks and which area it at, to kind of get more feeling of it.
Yeah, like you have to hear his reasons why he doesn't want to sell, but on a human side. Because if you're just going for that sale of like, oh man, they're well priced, we're gonna sell it quick, you're tugging at that heart of like, man, this has been my home for over 20 years. This is where my kids might have grown up. This is where I've been. I know all these neighbors. So you have to listen to why he doesn't want to sell in order to find the reasons why he should.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, I say this at every single mastermind. So if you guys have been hearing me, I want you guys to, I know you guys are going to repeat me. 2020, since March began, has not been the year to be that aggressive, to get, you know, to close and get that customer, get that client. It is not the year for you to, you know, attack anyone with, you know, we need to sell now. You know, it's gonna get off the shelf really quick. 2020 has been the year to kind of make connections. Come in very nice, very slow, because people are already getting way too many changes in their lives, right? This is a year to kind of like connect with people on a different basis in our industry. Now, I'm not going to say things are not selling, because that's not true. Single family home market is on fire. I mean, I'm getting ready to make that market report, you know, for the different areas, and you know, that I do. But I've never seen such an amazing movement in the month of June, where literally the houses go on the market and they're off the shelf so quickly. Like, it's been amazing. Like, we're going into bidding wars. We're you know, people are looking to get out of the condos and go into the single family homes. Single family homes are moving like crazy. And if you're working any area that is single family homes, man, farm your area right, you are on fire, right? But it's not the year for you to go straight to your client and say, hey, we gotta sell, hey, and your following ups are just very like salesy right now, you know? This is the year to learn how to listen to people, their needs, their wants, make a connection. What do you need? Are you missing anything? How can I help you? And then through that, make the connection. Always remind people what it is that you're doing. I am a realtor. I always tell you guys need to have 8 to 12 touches every single day. What are touches? Touches is reminding 8 to 12 people that you are a realtor, and not by emails, not by a text, but by actually having either a one-on-one in person or on the phone, reminding 8 to 12 people that you are a realtor. Facebook, again, I know I repeat myself every single week, but Facebook tells you whose birthday it is. So when you are calling these people to wish them a happy birthday, you let them talk. How are you? How's your life? How are the kids? How's quarantine treating you? Oh my God, I hate being locked in. What are we doing this week? Right? And through that conversation, remind 8 to 12 people, well, I'm doing great. I'm a realtor. I don't know if you remember, but I've been our single family homes are moving very quickly. This should be the mark, I just created the market report. Whatever your language is just to wheel them back, not for the sale, but for the reminder that you are a realtor. Because if at their birthday dinner, maybe their uncle says, oh man, I'm looking to move. They're like, oh my God, I just had a friend call me to wish me a happy birthday today. They're a realtor. I'll connect you. And they're going to want to do that connection just because you did remember their birthday, but, and that's just human psychology. When you gift somebody something in their brain, psychology, subconsciously, they're going to feel like they owe you something. So it is literally just reminding 8 to 12 people every single day that you are a realtor. I always say, if you're a realtor that prospects through phone calls, you shouldn't be making any less than 30 calls every day. And I say, if you haven't gotten 8 to 12 people on the phone to remind them that you are a realtor, continue making those phone calls. Who cares if you called 100 people, as long as you get to speak to 8 to 12 people. How many people here are actually prospecting through the phones? How many, is anybody here, who makes calls here? Anyone? You can either write it on the chat or unmute yourselves and talk to me about it. No one's making phone calls. I will say this: if you want to move quickly, before I used to say, put yourselves in the right rooms, right? If you have done the stick figure with me, the stick figure, I do this activity a lot about who your client is. If you haven't done the stick figure, I'll explain about the stick figure later, right? But basically, I need you guys to focus on who your clients are. What are their favorite restaurants? Do they have kids? Where do their kids go to school? Where do they live? Who are their friends? Who do they hang out with? Who, where are they shopping? And if your client's always eating, at Komodo and Brickell, and you're going through drive-throughs in Kendall, you're never going to meet that client, right? The only way to meet that client, quote by quote, might be online. And that could be by using the right hashtags, or by hanging out, quote unquote, hanging out virtually, in different groups, or following different tags on where those clients are. And then you have to make a connection with them. But a faster connection of these clients might be either to be lead generating by paying leads and by calling them. And when you call somebody, when they connect with your voice, with how you speak, with your energy, and you continue to follow up with them and you make a connection with that person, chances are that they're going to like you, they're going to trust you, and they're going to do business with you. So if you're not making phone calls, or if you don't even know where to begin with phone calls, let's talk about it, right? In one of the upcoming masterminds, I am going to bring 2 ladies to kind of do like different role plays with us on the phone. I know most people are like scared to death over the phone, but in an industry that is so proven to get you guys to make a substantial amount of money, and you're not moving this money, the only difference here might be you, right? Cristobal, I see that you unmuted yourself. Talk to me.
Yes, yes, good morning.
Good
I have a
morning.
question. Why, or what is the reason that the the home sales increase a lot in June and May.
I will say that I believe that if you have been locked up in a condo for 2.5, 3 months, and you're afraid to get on the elevator because you don't know who had just been there, and you don't know if you can push that button and going downstairs, and you don't have a pool anymore, and your only way outside is through a balcony. I think that that has pushed a lot of people to go and buy a single family home. And I think that people who were in single family homes that might have lived in a community, a lot of pools are still closed. My pool, and I live in a townhouse, right? My community pool is closed. I've had to buy an inflatable pool for my children. Now I noticed, instead of 3 rooms, I might need 4 because now I want a home office because I've been locked in here working from home for a little while. I think that's the reason why. I also do believe that, let's say in February or March, we had clients that were getting pre-approved to buy. And when we got locked in, they kind of stopped the process, right? And then they got locked in for 2-3 months. So the minute the city opened, they knew exactly what they needed and they were already in the market to buy. So maybe they would have already bought in March, April, or May, but they came out in June and they were like, you know what? I've been living in this house, but now I know really what I need because they've been in this house locked in. Most people spend 14 hours of their day either in an office, commuting, another 2 hours with kid, sports or activities. And now they had no other choice but to be inside the house and see if they like it.
Okay. But I see also the sales increase a lot in condominiums.
I will tell you that I haven't done the market report for June. I did see that there was not a lot of movement. Well, it depends on the area. And I will share my market reports with you guys if you want. I will say that with condos, I didn't see a lot of movement. If you did, maybe now that person who was living in that condo and likes living in a condo, maybe they wanted a 2-bedroom, or maybe they spent the entire time of quarantine cleaning 3 bedrooms. And now they notice, you know what, I only want 2 or I only want 1. But I do see a movement in our market that I've never seen. Our prices never went down. So our market hasn't really changed, but now all of a sudden I see a boom.
Yeah.
And it can contribute because I mean, March was a great month for us, but April and May were really, really bad.
Yeah.
So I think that also whoever was supposed to buy in April and May, I think just rolled over to June, but now they know what they want. And I think and again, I think people just notice man, I don't really like my house, or I really do, or maybe I need more, or maybe now I really want a pool.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. How are you prospecting, by the way?
Basically, with this time, I am afraid a little bit to go out.
Yes.
I have a previous condition, and it's talking with the people. I fall to do it every day, but I call my customers sometimes, some in a while.
Listen, grab that database and put it to work.
Right.
Remember that whatever you do today, you're not going to see the fruit of it for 3 months. Grab that database and call. And you don't have to tell them anything. Just say, hi, how are you? How have you been doing? Remember, I'm a realtor. Just remind them. That's it. That's all it takes. Create the connections.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Denise, I saw that you had unmuted yourself. Talk to me.
Yeah, I just wanna learn about your market reports that you prepare. How do you prepare them, and would you be able to share them with us? Because I would love to. It will be a great idea to reach out to the clients from past or for new clients. It's a good strategy to talk about the recent sales, because everybody's asking what's going on. So it's a great concrete proof that you are in the market, you're making your research and you're active. So is there any way that you can share how you do it, or
Yes.
can you share the ones that you do it for, like for
I would
yourself?
say that have you taken one of my MLS classes or no?
No, I couldn't. No, I was
I
running
have
around.
one
No.
coming up on July 22nd. It's 10 o'clock in the morning in English and 2 in Spanish. And I
Okay.
do teach, I teach hot sheets, which for me are essential for you guys because that's where you do your farming. And then I also teach market reports. If you cannot wait until then, my name, I have a website, right? It's just myname.com. I have a section that is just all on online on MLS tutorials, and it breaks down in sections. It breaks down like if you just want to know how to do hot sheets, it has a section for that. And they're like 1 to 3 minute long. You're not gonna be bored. It gets straight to the point. I also have it there for the market reports and little things like that, right? But if not, take my class on July 22nd because everything that I do, I don't hold it in for me. So if I tell you I got market reports done, it's not for me to have. They're actually for you. And everything that I know, all the knowledge, I do pass it on to you guys. I don't know if you guys have been to any of my masterminds before. I am not a realtor. I am not licensed. I never have been licensed. I never want to be licensed. Okay. I've always been management and I've always been the main support system for agents. Sorry about that. And I've always been the main support system for agents at the companies that I've worked for. Currently, I am the vice president of business development for brokers. So I am your main support system if you are one of my agents, right? And I like to say who I am because I want you to know that all my research, all my knowledge, all my findings is not for me to hold and it's not for me to keep. It is literally, I learn everything just to be able to pass it on to you guys. I grow if you guys grow. So I want to make sure you guys become producing agents, you know? And those who might be here from my chats and not necessarily from brokers, it is the same thing. I've never withheld any of my knowledge or information just because you're not with me. Okay, I want to see everybody succeed. I also say that I can do masterminds every week. I could have masterminds with 100 people and I can have masterminds with 3 people. The way the statistics show is I can tell you absolutely, I can give you a guide, a manual of everything you're supposed to do, but only 2% will actually do it. Okay. So with that said, I always say there's 56,000 realtors in Miami-Dade, but less than 10% are actually working this business. And less than 2% are actually working it correctly, efficiently. So I even if I was using my knowledge, you know, has a realtor, doesn't mean people are gonna use it. I have knowledge, and nobody will know that I am knowledgeable unless I give it out, right? That's how people know if you know what you're doing or not. Anybody else have a situation? Anybody prospecting? Anybody want to come and talk to me? Talk to me, Denise.
No, I was just saying that's great. Thank you so much. And it's like if we could just make it like condos 100 to 300, single families like 300 to 500, whatever. Like if we can just categorize them, that will help a lot, because like people are looking for over $1 million, people are looking for $300,000 to $500,000. So that would be great for
the way that I do my market reports, I will say that I do them based on cities, areas, or zip codes. So I don't do the division between single family homes and condos. You guys can actually find that information from the board. Both Broward and Miami give that information on their websites.
okay.
So like you guys can actually see the movement of single family homes compared to condos. But the way that I do the market report, let me see if I can share one here, because I did the ones for, let me see if I can open it really quick. I did the ones for May. Give me 1 second, hold on. Let me see if I can find them.
I am looking your page. I don't see that where I can find the market report.
No, on there you can find the tutorials.
Tutorials.
on how to get the market reports. It's called, it should be under MLS online tutorials.
Okay. Let's training tutorials. Share all the videos.
Yeah, I have several videos in there. One second, I'm looking for, and okay, let me see. I got the Aventura one. Let me see if I can share my screen to you guys. Do you guys see that market report?
Yes.
So I like to do market reports that are one, visually pretty, easy to read, especially if you're going to share with clients, not with too much information because then the client gets lost. But this is pretty much how I take out my market reports.
Yeah, that's a nice market report.
Now for brokers, you guys will have them available on the member site, and I do them for various cities. It's not just Aventura and Brickell. I do them for Key Biscayne, Coconut Grove, Coral Gables, Fisher Island, Hollywood, Hallandale, Fort Lauderdale, Weston. I mean, I do several areas, okay? And then if you don't fall into the area that I've done, then I also can give you the what's it called, the oh my god, I can't even speak, the flyer. I can give it to you blank just for you to fill in the information and then teach you how to get those numbers for that certain area you're working with, and you guys can fill it in Canva, so it's like ready for you to just do your market reports as well there.
That would be great.
Yeah. So there is something that I've been working on for you guys in the month of June. And
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
you're welcome. Talk to me. I see that somebody unmuted.
Hi, Andreina. This is Patricia. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Loving your talks as usual.
Anytime.
Do you have any of those reports for Broward, for like Weston and?
I have for Weston, for Lauderdale, Hollywood, Hallandale. I have for a few.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
I placed them in the Slack for the ones for the May report, and then this week, most likely today at the end of the day, I should have the ones ready for the month of June.
Okay. All right. And they will be at your website?
They're most likely not going to be on my website. They will be, well, maybe I could put them on the website actually, but on the member site for brokers, I put them on there.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. We totally started this as a mastermind. It totally went with like market reports. This is awesome.
Yes, they are. I think they are.
Steve, talk to me. I see you unmuted yourself.
Yes, I unmuted myself. What is the best way to actually generate leads? Excuse me. I guess I'm a latecomer on the social media side, the Facebook, the Instagram. What do you decide? How do you decide what to post? Because I try to look at other people, look at what they're posting, and I'm not sure exactly what to post. I see you say market report. If I just post a market report and then I'm gonna hope for people to look at it and call me, or how do you decide?
That's a lot of questions in one. So let's go from, you just hit me with social media. That's like the best topic to talk about, right? Social media and generating leads. It's like the $1 million question these days. I do say, one, you need to have a social media. You need to be on, for me, credibility has changed in our world when it comes to real estate. Credibility is everything. So you should be on Instagram. You should be on Facebook. You should be on LinkedIn ID. You should be registered on Google as a business. I repeat about that every single class, because if you're not registered on Google, and your client Googles you, you're not a professional in their eyes. It is entirely free to register on Google Business as a business. You are an independent contractor, so you do have your own business. Facebook and type of content. I like, and this is my personal opinion, I like for the social media pages to be human. So not only showing what is important to what might be important to your client, I also want them to see the human side of you. Now, one thing that I do repeat myself again a lot on is that I want you guys to look for that certain area you guys want to work in and become a specialist of that area. So your post should have information about maybe that restaurant that just opened, that restaurant that just closed, that event that was canceled, where they're selling masks or hand sanitizer in the area you're living. And then apart from that, you should be posting about the market reports or the market values in that area. You should be posting about how many properties have come in the market and how many properties have sold in the last X amount of days. You guys should put about the just listed or the just sold and the open houses. But in between all that, it should also be you and human and your family and what makes you stand out from the other 56,000 realtors in Miami-Dade or in Broward, right? So the content should vary and it should be easy and pretty to the eye. If somebody was to look up on your page, it should all kind of like match and come together and more or less have the same synergy and colors and a theme, okay? Now, generating leads, guys. How do you generate the best leads? From what I'm seeing, the movement this year in 2020 has been that you pay for Facebook ads, you generate a lot of leads. Okay. Now, it is not easy. I've been trying it just to see how it works, because again, if I can handle it, then I can come back and teach you guys how to do it. And my leads are not the bottom consumer. My leads are actually you guys, the realtors, right? So I've been attempting to do Facebook leads, and it's been very interesting. Facebook rejects every single one of my posts. I've been trying to do their ads. So I'm trying to learn that. I actually found this lady that will teach me Facebook ads, but she's very costly. But I will say this, if you do handle how to get leads from Facebook, people are on Facebook all day long lately, especially if they're still working from home. I remember being notified by my phone about the news, you know, when the mayor was going to speak, when we were going to have the governor tell us what was happening with the whole coronavirus. And when my phone notified me, it took me to Facebook, and I was watching the news over Facebook. So people are going to Facebook, not just to see what their friends are doing. They're going to Facebook to watch the news like I did, or to look into the marketplace and buy maybe an old furniture. And if they do see that house that they might like, they will click on it, and that generates a lead. So prepare your Facebook pages for people to be able to search for you. Prepare your pages with enough content for people to start, you know, following you and liking you and seeing who you are and what it is that you bring to the table. And then also prepare your Facebook pages in order for you to grab leads and capture them. Now, Facebook is owned by Instagram. So whatever Facebook you're paying for on one, it automatically goes in through Instagram. I see somebody unmuted. Talk to me. I think it's Patricia.
It's Patricia again, sorry. How do you recommend to transition? Like if you have a personal Facebook and Instagram, how do you recommend to transition? Do you do a new business account? Or to have that many people, that followers, do you change the name? How do you recommend?
So when I first started branding myself, I mean, it's been a while since I started branding myself. I want to say it's been about maybe 3-4 years that I began my branding as a professional in this industry. And I didn't want to change my pages because my entire sphere was already there. And I wanted everybody to know that I was in this industry.
Right.
What I started doing was just kind of changing the content, changing the voice, or it's not the voice, it's changing the vocabulary, changing the conversations I'm putting out, right? So I was no longer just putting pictures of my children and I, or me with my friends. Now I was also putting pictures about, you know, that training that I did, or about, you know, the different things that I was doing in this market. But I entirely changed that channel, you know, from just being me to being real estate, real estate related.
Yes.
And then after my personal Facebook page kind of knew who I was and what it is that I was doing, then I did the Facebook business page and I started putting content there. I will say this, my main engagement and my main views and my main everything is still on my personal one, but I never use it as a personal page anymore. I see social media as just, it's my industry pages, that's it.
Okay.
So no matter how you find me, no matter how you Google me, it's gonna lead you back to, oh, there's Andreina, she works in real estate. And most people don't even know what it is that I'm doing because I'm not licensed. When you look at my pages, you know, you have to go through the content to see like, oh, she trains realtors, or she speaks to realtors, or she has this knowledge to give to realtors. But when you first look at my page, you know that I'm in real estate, you know?
Yes, yes.
And then as you start looking through my things, then you kind of see, you know, what it is that I'm doing.
Yes.
But it was mainly like I just changed my tone of voice on my pages. I started giving different information out.
I understand. But for you, that you were really already known and established and had a name for it. But for someone that's not known, and then it's like, oh, Patricia Ferrari is her account number, account name. Would you change to like Miami Real Estate something, Patricia Miami Real Estate, so that it comes up on the search, or wouldn't?
Yes. I don't want you to be because I was known, because when I started branding myself, no one knew me. Remember, I was a manager inside an office. So the only people that could have known me were just the realtors I had in-house. Nobody outside my office really knew me. And at that time, I don't use it for recruiting anymore, but at that time, I started using it like, I want people to know me so I can recruit more agents. You know, I want to get the production of my office up. So no one knew me when I first started. But yes, I do want you to brand yourself. Patricia Miami Realtor, whatever it is that you want to brand yourself with. But you should have a logo, your own logo. You should have your own colors. You should have something that you want people to recognize you, you know, by. Absolutely, you should absolutely, definitely start getting out there. Now, you do still have to follow NAR rules when it comes to how you put yourself out there on social media. So if you do create your own logo, you have to remember that the broker's logo or the company logo that you're with also has to be there, right?
Yes.
And you have to follow their rules. And on the 8th, which is next Wednesday, I am having a speaker come and talk about keep your post in compliance. But yes, you should have your logo, you should have your own name, you should start advertising yourself as such. You should believe that that is who you are in this industry, you know, and people need to be able to see your logo and recognize it, just like Coke. We know it's a Coca-Cola instead of a Pepsi because of their colors, because of their names. Same thing.
Great, thank you.
You're so welcome.
Such
All right.
valuable information.
I try, and you know, I like to have these open forums because if I sit here and just talk and talk and talk, you guys might get lost. I want you guys to participate and engage with me every week on Fridays when we do the masterminds, and tell me what you guys have going on so that I can either gear you or give you strategies. But it's geared towards something that you guys are currently doing, or geared towards something that you feel like you're struggling with, you know?
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, before we conclude, we have just a few more minutes. Anybody else want to talk to me? No, nobody likes me today. I only have one or two that like really have questions. Talk to me, Tatiana.
Now, when are you going to be working on that report?
The one for June, the ones,
Doing the calculations of the market report.
yeah, the ones for June, I'm gonna start on them now. Actually, I like to do them the first week of the month. Today's July 3rd. June just kind of closed out. So I'm gonna be working on them today. I should have them later on today, and if not, by Monday or Tuesday, the latest. Because you know, after I have the numbers, I pass it on to marketing so they could put it in pretty little things. But I am going to teach you guys how to get those market reports at the MLS class on the 22nd.
Okay, so
Okay.
the 22nd is the one we can actually.
You guys can see it, but again, it's on my website if you just want to see the tutorial really quick. And I will have those numbers out for you guys very shortly. I just need to start working on it. It takes hours for me to do it just because I do so many cities. Whereas for you guys should be quicker if you guys start doing your own market reports. You know, because you guys are not hitting up every city available in office. If you do want me to share that Canva flyer for you guys to do your own market reports, you know, I don't know how many of you guys have my phone number, but text me with your email addresses and I can share that Canva flyer with you guys.
Okay.
Okay. And anything that you guys need, again, I'm here. All right, with that said, let's conclude and have an amazing weekend, guys. Remember, we have a county ordinance. We have a curfew. We gotta be in the house by 10 o'clock at night every day this weekend. Tati, talk to me.
Yeah, it ends on the 7th.
I know. Tough.
So do you think, are we still available to do brokers opens or no?
I wouldn't do it this weekend. I feel like this weekend everybody's probably gonna try to get out of Miami-Dade or try to get out to do something. So I wouldn't do it this weekend. This would be a very slow weekend for you to do a brokers open. I would try to do something for next weekend if you want it to be on a weekend.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, okay. So I can prepare everything and notify everyone for the next week.
What you can do, however, is go into the property that you want to do brokers open and do an amazing video through your phone through the eyes of like a person coming in. So like from beginning to end, do a very pretty video and do a Facebook Live or an Instagram Live inviting people to do a virtual open house to view this property.
Which one do you think will be effective? Facebook Live or Instagram Live?
Where do you have the most engagement right now?
I know I've been running ads for the property on Facebook.
Do it on Facebook Live.
Okay.
It is wherever you get the most engagement.
Okay. Well, I just separated my personal to the business. So it's starting to pick up the business side.
Yeah.
Because I've took some classes how to make your Instagram more attractive to people. So I've been learning how to post and content and how you write the content to make it more interesting.
Yeah.
Separated my personal.
All right. If you guys are gonna be working on Instagram, before we conclude, I do want to let you guys know I create all of my content, like my flyers, my posts and stuff on an app called Over. Okay. I do pay for it, but it's like $50 for an entire year. I have found it to be a lot easier to use than Canva. Check it out. If you guys are going to be working a lot with Instagram, I also have this app that's entirely free that's called When to Post. It's going to go over the algorithm of my page and see when my followers are usually online, and they will see that, you know, I will have the most views on that post, right? So when to post will tell me exactly what times I should be posting my things. And then I have another app that's called Planoly. I also pay for this one. I forgot the price. I also pay everything through the year because I don't like the whole monthly thing. It's called Planoly. And then with this one, it actually schedules it out for me. So not only is it going to show me what it's going to look like, what my page is going to end up looking like after I put that post, it will schedule it for me and automatically post it on Instagram and Facebook. So these three are my go-to apps. So, and you know, so we're hitting up so much on the subject of social media and content and creation and, you know, engagement. Over When to Post and Planoly, I've handled my Instagram this way, I want to say for about 2-3 years now. And then for Facebook, believe it or not, is where I get the most engagement. So even though I do most of my planning on Instagram, because I have the most followers, on Facebook, I actually get the most, you know, the most engagement. So I'm pretty sure Tatiana might have seen all my ridiculous questions that I post, but I'll post things like to put a picture or not to on a business card. Obviously, it's questions geared towards realtors, right? But for you guys can start also putting questions, and you guys are gonna see how people want to answer them. You guys can do questions kind of like, between a condo or a single family, what would you choose? Or to have a pool or not to have a pool. Start asking questions that are relevant to like the clients that you're catering on your Facebook page, and see if you start getting engagement there. You want to create engagement because that's when people start viewing your page more. And the more engagement you have, the more Facebook notices that people want to view your stuff. So Facebook then starts putting you out there more in your, you know, in people's news feeds.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it is 11. I left you with a lot of Facebook and social media information.
We have 10 more minutes.
you guys have my cell phone number. You guys have all my, you know, whatever you guys need, I am here. I am a support. Call me. I am very reachable. So for anything, please do message me. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye, guys. Have a good one. Stay safe.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Everyone.
You're welcome. Bye.